The other day I was looking to buy some CR123 batteries for my Netgear Arlo camera system, and I saw these batteries on eBay. You get 20 batteries and they come with these little chargers here. And interestingly enough, they are rated for 2300 milliamps, which is surprising since the best CR123 rechargeable batteries normally have a milliamps of about 800 milliamps. And interestingly enough, even the 18650 cells, which are about 3 times the size of these, those from the best manufacturers are normally rated at around 2500 milliamps. So the fact that these GTLs are rated at 2300 milliamps is interesting to say the least. I also happen to have some GTL 2800 milliamp batteries that I also picked up on eBay for testing. If 2300 is good, 2800 better be amazing. Since these are, now we're talking about batteries that could last months and months in an Arlo system. Just for comparison, the regular lithium batteries, the non-rechargeables, are around 1500 milliamps for the good non-rechargeable batteries. Now in reality, rechargeable batteries normally only have about half the milliamps of their non-rechargeable counterparts. So in reality, the best that you can get in a CR123 battery is around 800 milliamps. So these are, by definition, I know they're already fake, whether they're, no matter what they claim to be, they have to be fake, since you simply don't get batteries in the CR123 size that, even from the best manufacturers such as Panasonic and Sanyo, that go anywhere over around 800 milliamps. So these have to be fake. I have them charging on my Netgear IntelliCharger. These aren't bad, but I'd rather use my fancy charger over here to get them fully charged. As you can see, the white batteries are fully charged. The purple batteries are still charging, and I'll test them in a little bit, but ironically, they were both fully charged last night, and as soon as I plugged them in, they had already lost some charge and needed to take a charge again, which is not a good sign for a lithium battery. It should be able to hold its charge for at least 6 months, so the fact that they needed to go back on the charger for 20 minutes is not a good thing overnight. Anyways, I'm going to test these 2800 milliamp GTL batteries. By the way, there's GTL, GTF, they are all pretty much the same company. There's also some a bunch of batteries with the word fire in it, like I forget what it is. It's Trustfire and Surefire. And now Surefire is a real brand, but there are fakes. And then there's a bunch of batteries with the word fire in them who are trying to clone the Surefire name. But if the milliamp rating is in the thousands of milliamps, it's going to be a bad fake Chinese battery. So I'm going to test one of these batteries right here. Pull this off. As it was, this is 100% fully charged. I have a tester right here. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. I have a battery tester over here, lithium battery tester. Let's give the tester some power. Here we go. Unfortunately, I only have a 18650 holder. I don't have a CR123 holder for this tester. So I'm just going to tape the terminals. It's not great, but it'll do for testing purposes. And we'll tape it up and run a test on it to see how many milliamps we have here. As you can see, we're reading 4.18 volts over here, which is perfect since 4.2 volts is considered fully charged on a lithium cell. A lithium cell will run from 4.2 volts down to about 3.2 volts, at which point it's considered discharged and it'll cut off. So the tester will run it down from 4.2 volts to 3.2 volts until it cuts off. Lithium cells are rated with a voltage of 3.7 volts. But that's just their average voltage, because it runs from 4.2 volts to 3.2 volts with an average of 3.7. This has I'm running it through a 5-watt resistor, which will discharge it at half an amp. But I'm going to run the tester, and I'll time lapse the tester, and then we'll check what the milliamps of this supposed 2800 milliamp battery is. So it's discharging at 500 milliamps. Current voltage is 3.97. This is the milliamps so far that has been used by the tester. That is 1 milliamp. So we, in theory, should actually see 2800 across this display, but that's not what we'll see. I'll be surprised if we get 200 milliamps out of this battery. Understand that the really good batteries from the good manufacturers run about $12 to $15 per battery, and they're only 800 milliamp batteries. These batteries are running about $1 a battery, and yet they're rated at 2800 milliamps, which is pretty much impossible. So I'm going to let this run. I'll fast forward the videotape till the end, and we will see what the milliamps of this GTL 2800 battery is. Alrighty, so this battery has tested out at 249 milliamps, not the 2800 milliamps promised, about 1/10 of the promised capacity. Ironically, this is one of the best batteries so far. This battery tested out at 112. This battery tested out at 109. And this battery tested at 194. But the bottom line is all these GTL and GTF batteries are complete garbage. And to be honest with you, I'm actually impressed with the Netgear Arlo for running a week or two on batteries that are only putting out 100 milliamps, 200 milliamps. The Netgear will actually run for a week or two before it starts to complain about the batteries, which is impressive off just a couple hundred milliamps.